37,000 fans. That's how many fans came out to LoanDepot Park and watched the Savannah Bananas for 2 straight nights playing against the Party Animals.
We had some close games and a little bit of controversy, but we're excited to break it all down.
Yeah, so today we'll be discussing those 2 games, how it affects the standings, which you can see back here if you're watching on YouTube, and a bunch of the cool plays that we see and see where it goes from there.
Oh yeah, let's get to it.
Perfect. Well, welcome to the Banana Breakdown podcast, where we discuss all things banana ball. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon, and I can go a little bit bananas.
And I'm Sammy. You can call me the life of the party. Thanks for everyone who followed along this weekend as we watched the game. It was fun to interact with people in the YouTube live stream of the Savannah Bananas game. And also as we posted on X, we're trying to, I don't know if people still live tweet things anymore, but we were trying to do something like that on X. So it was fun to interact with a lot of fans.
Yeah, and today we're going to be breaking down just the games from this weekend. So those 2 games in the Miami Marlins Stadium, go over all the different things that happened, and we just wanted to start off with the standings. So with the 2 games, the Party Animals won one game and Savannah Bananas won the other. So the Bananas are up 7-6 in the standings.
It really pains me to see this because the Party Animals should have taken the series lead. They really choked that game away, but we'll get into that later.
We'll definitely get into how it happened, but I agree with you there. They had it, and they let it go there at the very end. And then the one other thing is, as you can see on here, the FireFighters and the Tailgaters still haven't played a game. We're so excited in the next 2 months. We're 2 months away from opening night for them.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see them. I was looking at it earlier, and it's like, come on, these guys need to get their act together. Got to play some banana ball sooner or later. I'm excited to see them, see their a little bit of different flair, see their different style of play. And I'm excited later on in the season, we're going to have them play some home games too.
Yeah, and we looked at it just as a quick look into the future. The Savannah Bananas and Party Animals are somewhere between 60 and 70 games on the season, and the FireFighters and Tailgaters are a little bit over 30 games. So we're still going to get quite a few games from them here at the end of the season.
Yeah, and hopefully that will help them as we get close to the Tour Championship as well. They can get ready for that.
Yeah, it'll be really cool to see. But yeah, let's jump straight into game number 1. So one of the coolest things that happened in game number 1 is they got really close to a record. So the current record for the number of fan-caught foul balls is 3 before this weekend. And in the first game, within the first 3.5 innings, they'd already caught 3 foul balls.
It was crazy. And, Jesse Cole made a comment about it during the broadcast, and we were noticing it too.
Yeah.
Because it's an MLB stadium, there was more foul balls caught because there's just more stands. It's a much higher likelihood that a foul ball will be caught by fans, and that adds some excitement for the fans. It's crazy because in baseball, fouling can actually be good. It's a 0-2 pitch, and you're just trying to work through the at-bat.
Totally.
And you foul it off just to stay alive. But foul balls in banana ball can be detrimental. It can lead to an out. So it's exciting.
Yeah, and that was something that we got to see firsthand because we were at opening night in the spring training stadium, and the stands were really small, and there was a really big overhang. So a lot of the balls would hit that, and they wouldn't actually land in the stands. So that was really shocking for me going to the game. They would hit a foul ball, and it's like, oh yeah, someone's going to catch it out of the park, almost every single time. But then here, because you've got these, like the double-decker, and you've got so many rows, it makes it so easy. And in that same thing with Jesse Cole, makes me so excited for the NFL stadiums.
Yeah. When you're playing in a football stadium, there are tons and tons of seats, and the way that the stadium is built is way different than a baseball diamond, and so that's going to be really interesting. I would not be surprised if this record is broken in a football stadium this season.
100%. I'm super excited to see where that goes. They released a picture online for the Clemson football stadium, what they expect it to look like. It looks so cool.
That stadium is one of the coolest stadiums in all of college football, and for that to be decked out with Bananas fans, and it's going to be awesome to see. Yeah, so everyone, make sure if you're going, bring your glove. We did see a hat catch this weekend, which was cool. So they're joking about, does that fan get a trick play or not? I think fans should be allowed to get a trick play.
I agree with you there.
So yeah, if you don't have a glove, use your hat. But get ready to catch some balls.
Yeah, so we saw that in game number 1. A lot of really cool stuff there. But that was an overall look. But let's talk about pitch number 2. The party animals are up to bat, and they throw a ball, and then the next one, he just cracks it straight to center field. D'Armedo sizes it up, does a backflip right to start the game, and the crowd goes wild.
It was crazy. That's his signature trick play, and for that to happen at the first at-bat in an MLB stadium, fans there they're seeing the Bananas for the first time, right away they get a feel for what the game's going to be like, and D'Armedo delivers. He's been delivering game in and game out. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really, really cool to see. And then, as we talked about, there were 3 fan catches, so they really did affect the game a lot as it went through. And one of the things that was really sad is Sal Jacobo on the Party Animals, 2 of those catches were from his at-bats.
Oh, that's brutal. That's so brutal, especially... I mean, these guys obviously didn't grow up playing banana ball. I mean, they've been playing it forever now. They understand. But it's just got to be such a frustrating feeling of fouling and all of a sudden you're out. You know, you feel like you're working through the at-bat and it just doesn't quite work. But those fans are excited.
And then like the pitcher gets so excited whenever it happens. It's really cool to see.
So I want to talk about just an insane trick play. It's got to be going viral. Dustin Baber, in his signature green jersey, he had this amazing trick play to save the inning, and it's got to be the top play of the weekend.
Yeah, it was really cool because he did like a bunch of different things and then still got the out. Like it's so cool to be able to see all the fun things that they're able to do, and then they still knock it away, get the out, and the crowd goes wild.
Yeah, how he was able to bounce it and go behind the back. I think he went. I'll have to watch it again, but it's behind the back and between the legs. And it's like that would be impressive to see on a basketball court.
Totally.
But he was doing it to get an out at first, and just amazing. I'm a big Dustin Baber fan.
He's pretty cool. One other thing that we saw that was a really cool moment for me was Bill Leroy, the catcher for the Savannah Bananas. All of a sudden, in the middle of the game, he just goes into the splits while catching. Just standing behind the plate, just in the splits for multiple throws.
Not only is it impressive that he's doing the splits, but you've got to have a whole lot of trust in your pitcher. Like I hope he's wearing a cup, hope he's protected, but man, you a lot of confidence in your pitcher. Yeah, good chemistry between the catcher and pitcher there.
And just the ability to catch the ball. Catch a 90-something mile per hour pitch.
Yeah, it's crazy. Again, I've said similar things before, but I can't even do the splits.
Wow, what can you do? You can't do the splits or a backflip catch.
I can talk into a microphone, talk about the Savannah Bananas. I can chug a lot of Mountain Dew.
Hey, speaking of that, what do you got here today?
Well, just, the classic Mountain Dew. Honestly, just trying to get sponsored by Mountain Dew at this point. And, my son didn't nap today, so barely holding on. So I had to get some fuel.
Yeah, makes sense. But if you happen to be the Mountain Dew sponsorship representative and you're listening to this podcast, or you know how to contact them, send them our way.
Seriously, I would love it. It'd make my life.
Because Sammy definitely needs the fuel to get through and to be the life of the party. But one of the other things that we wanted to talk about was a really cool throw by Cowboy Kyle in the 8th inning. I know, Sammy, you said you thought it was really cool. If you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so he was pitching in the 8th. And talk about confidence here. He pitched from second base.
And it was a ball.
Yeah, it was a ball. But just the confidence to throw from there, it could have easily... Honestly, it was probably good that he threw a ball because... He hung it a little bit, and if he got it over the plate, it would have been probably a multi-base hit. But just the confidence there to throw. But then throwing that ball there didn't rattle him at all, and he does a little clap thing, like this, and everyone has to follow along, I guess, when someone starts clapping, and everyone starts clapping. He gets the whole crowd involved. And then he throws a strikeout.
So cool.
To save the inning, too. It ended the inning. Just the confidence there and the showmanship it was fun.
Yeah, and then later in the bottom of that inning, after Cowboy Kyle got him out of that, Reese Alexiades, Superman, the guy with the cool cape, which I mean, this game he had a gold cape on, which was super cool to see.
Yeah.
But he stepped up and hit a home run. So cool for them because I think that Reese, I think it was like his first home run in an MLB stadium. So like these guys growing up, that's like the dream. And so they finally get to do that, and that's so cool for them.
And I have to say, it was an epic bat flip too.
Yeah.
That's something I love about Banana Ball. The bat flips. No one's getting mad about it. Like in baseball, those dumb unwritten rules or whatever. That bat flip was epic, and for him to go around, run the bases in that cape, it's just awesome. It's just really cool to see.
Yeah, really fun to see all of that, and they do a really good job with like the stadium, and they like dim the lights and then shine them, and they make it really cool. So if you haven't seen his home run in particular, definitely want to check out that video online.
He actually posted it on X recently, and the video footage there and the angle just looks like a movie. You gotta check it out.
Are you saying it's scripted? Can you script someone getting a home run like that?
No, I'm not saying it's scripted, although maybe we'll have to talk about the next game. No, I don't. Who knows? I don't think it is. But
well, I mean, just while we're on that topic, they recently posted, it was Jackson Olsen, and he posted on social media and said, "Hey, Jesse Cole, the owner of the Savannah Bananas, can you write in the script for me today for me to hit a home run?" And he hit a home run that night. And it's just like, they're like making jokes about it because a lot of people like say that. And so it's just really funny to see him like playing with it a little bit.
It's not scripted. Baseball is too, like, you can't script it. There's other sports that maybe you could pull it off. Like obviously WWE is scripted, but it's too hard, too many moving components.
And these guys are just crazy competitive. I could not see any of them buying into that.
We'll get into it later, but I guess we'll get into it with the showdown now. But Drew Gillespie showed his competitiveness. I was thinking mainly in the second game that we'll talk about later, but he really showed out in the showdown, and he's the best closer in the league. Amazing pitcher. I love it when he gets up on the mound.
It's the worst.
It's so exciting. And yeah, so this game went to a showdown, which is so fun. Went into 2 rounds of showdown, and so we want to talk about that.
Yeah, so first round, just a normal showdown. Both teams scored a run. Let's go to round 2. Then the Party Animals score a run in round 2. I believe it was Jake Skoll, who is their typical round 2 go-to guy. And then Drew Gillespie's on the mound for the bottom of the second showdown.
Yeah, and keep in mind with the round 2 of a showdown, no fielders.
Yep.
So it's pitcher versus batter. Obviously the catcher's there too, but it's just one-on-one, pitcher versus batter.
Yep.
And Drew freaking Gillespie. My goodness. This guy, with all the confidence in the world, gets a strikeout to end the game.
Crazy.
Yeah, just epic moment. There's no fielder. If he gets a hit, he's going to score unless Drew could be super fast. I don't think he's fast enough but if you get a hit, you're going to score, and for him to just get the strikeout there,
it's crazy.
It's just awesome. I love the showdown. Seeing a pitcher get a strikeout here, the showdown really feels a lot like penalty kicks in soccer, where most of the time the kicker's going to score. The soccer player that's kicking is going to score a goal because the goalie needs to guess which way he's going to go, needs to guess right, and needs to get to the ball in time. And so the batter in these is most of the time they're going to score.
Totally.
So for a pitcher to get a strikeout, it is just as exciting as a keeper getting a stop in a penalty kick situation. It's so exciting. The stadium was electric.
Yeah, and you can totally see it. Like Drew Gillespie just shouting, throws his glove in the air, and the entire Party Animals team just rushes the mound. Like, such a cool moment. Unfortunately, it wasn't the Bananas, but a cool moment for the Party Animals to be able to revel in.
Yeah, it was an awesome moment for me. A night I will never forget.
But yeah, that was game number 1.
And now we're going to a game that I wish to forget.
That's totally fair. And just to lay it down, as you see the standings here, after game number 1, it was tied 6-6. So it put both teams in a really interesting spot. And since this was a 2-game series, it was either going to be the Party Animals sweep 2-0 or the Savannah Bananas win the second game, and it ties it, and no one gets to take home the title of winning that series.
Yeah, so the Party Animals had a chance here. They were playing amazing throughout the first 5 innings, right?
Yeah.
And then the wheels started to come off a little bit. There were some controversial situations. Ultimately didn't do too much with the outcome. Either of them really.
Yeah.
But still a great game.
Yeah, so starting off in the first inning, Noah Fisher got a ball four sprint, and it was super interesting to note because the announcers noted that was his 10th ball four sprint this year. So he is the league leader in ball four sprints.
That's not great.
Not great for the pitchers, but I mean, you keep getting on base.
Yeah, exactly.
Pushing the runners around is pretty nice.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, it's good that he can watch the ball. He's making the right decisions. But yeah, that's funny. I didn't realize that he was the leader.
Yeah, it's funny to hear those stats on the live stream, so I always try to take a note of them. But then, yeah, later in that inning, Jake Skoll fouled to the fans. They didn't catch it. He got beaned and got on base, and then Andy Cosgrove fouled off, and the second one was caught.
Man, those foul balls, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy how, because fans aren't expecting the ball to come, when you have a pop fly or a fly ball into foul territory when a player's there, it's most likely going to be an out. But
yeah,
because the fans aren't really expecting the ball, you don't know if it's gonna, it can be dropped in Skoll's case, or it could be caught and be an out. So
yeah, and so then the Party Animals were able to get a couple runs. Then Tanner Thomas fouled out to a fan, so we got 2 fouls in that first inning. Just absolutely crazy that happened.
Yeah, again, it goes with the territory of being in an MLB stadium. There's a lot more. We've touched on it before. I don't need to go into it again, but just the different stadiums can change the game.
Totally. And then the bottom of the first was a really, really cool moment, a really special moment for Andy Cosgrove on the Party Animals. So they were up 3-1, and the Savannah Bananas had players on first and third. So basically at this point, walk-off home run, the Savannah Bananas win the inning. It's a really important situation for the game. And the Savannah Bananas player fouls it back to the catcher, and Andy Cosgrove runs behind the back, catches it for his first career trick play to end the inning, and the Party Animals get the point for the inning.
That's so awesome. Honestly, the only thing that could have made it better, I know I'm being a little nitpicky here, it was incredible, but the only thing that could have been better is if it was a fair ball, because the foul ball, it kind of lessens the stakes a little bit.
True.
But to save the inning with a trick play, there's nothing more exciting than that.
And then in the second inning, really cool fans first moment. Robert Anthony Cruz, Coach Rack, gets a backflip catch, and then he starts to pull something out of his pocket. So the camera lingers on him. He pulls out this paper, and it says, "Coach Rack, it's my birthday. Do a backflip for me." And it was so cool that some kid, he was able to do that for him and say, "Hey, I got a backflip for you. Happy birthday."
That is awesome. That made that kid's birthday so special. Yeah, fans first is always the number one priority for this league, and it's really cool to see how much these guys love the fans.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've got athletes that deep down despise the fans.
So sad.
Yeah, but we know that the guys here, they love the fans and want them to have a great experience.
Speaking of a great experience, this next one is hilarious.
Yeah, so bottom of the second, we've got probably the one of the funniest pitches that I've ever seen. Brett Helton, he goes up, he's gonna pitch. He lobs a pitch. It's slow, and then he charges home plate, and he ends up hitting it. And he kind of cowers, he jumps and he covers his face so he doesn't get hit by the ball. But I don't think I've ever seen something like that. It was hilarious,
and I don't think anybody else had, because Dustin Baber, the second baseman, the camera goes to him because he got the out, and he's just dying laughing. He thought it was the funniest thing.
Yeah, and the batter wasn't expecting it either. You've got this ball going way slower than you're expecting, and then someone running at you. It's impressive that he still connected on it, but
Yeah,
it ended up being an out. So I guess it worked. It rattled him enough, but yeah, probably one of the funniest pitches I've seen.
Yeah, it didn't rattle him too much on the defensive side because that was KJ Jackson batting, and he had multiple amazing plays at first base. He was like catching it behind his back, like arms stretched out, would like jump and get it between the legs while facing the stands, so like facing away from the ball. Like just some incredible plays by KJ Jackson there.
Yeah, he had a really good game. So yeah, I guess he didn't get rattled enough, but maybe Hilton will have to try it again sometime.
That would be amazing. If you're listening to it, please do it again because I want to see that moment happen.
Come on, Brett. You can do it.
And then with the foul balls, we talked about it a little bit at the beginning of the podcast. The record up to this point was 3 fan-caught foul balls in one game. At this point in the game, there were 2, and then Dan Obers for the Bananas hit the 3rd fan-caught foul ball. So now we're tied again early on in the game and hoping that we can get a 4th one and see if we can break the record.
Yeah, so we'll see if that happens going forward.
Yeah.
I think most of you, if you're watching it, you know what happens, but we'll talk about it. Yeah, so the biggest one here that I want to discuss, I think it's important.
Yeah.
We need to have some accountability with the umps. I know they're distracted. They're doing their little dances. They're having a good time. They want it to be entertaining. But you cannot forget the ball count.
Yeah.
Brandon, you can't. So here's what's happened in the top of the 5th. Tanner Thomas is at the plate. He's batting. It's a really good at bat, a battle, and the count is 3-2.
Yep.
And there's a ball, so it should be a ball 4 sprint, and that's what Tanner Thomas does. He starts running to first base, but the ump said that this was ball 3, not ball 4. And so because he left the batter's box, and that's a strike if you leave the batter's box because he was running to first, it was a strikeout. And so it went from a ball 4 sprint, which would have given the Party Animals 2 more runs. Yep. They had 2 players. Was it second and third?
Second and third, like guaranteed score.
Yeah, guaranteed score there. And instead of that, it's a strikeout. Ultimately, it didn't totally affect the game because the Party Animals did win that inning.
Yeah.
But man, you can't have that happen.
And the problem is that it happened again a little bit later, but this one was more on the player.
Yeah,
but it was just crazy.
It wasn't the next one. I don't know what was going on there. The next one wasn't the ump's fault, but yeah, can we help these guys out? Count? No, we love you guys, but man, we can't have that happen.
Yeah, it was definitely, I think the biggest bummer for me is seeing like Tanner Thomas. Tanner Thomas should have got a ball 4 sprint in the records. He should have got 2 RBIs, like all of those different things, but now he's actually notched down as a strikeout on his record. Like huge bummer for him, and it happens. They figure it out, but it definitely sad, and we're feeling for Tanner Thomas on that one.
Yeah, and I know I was going a little hard on them, but I want to go back and I want the record to show I am not in favor, like some people in the baseball community, I am not in favor of having like AI do like balls and strikes, anything like that. I think the human element makes it so much more fun. It's, there's missed calls in basketball, missed calls in football. I am not in favor of, some people want a chip in the football so they know where the first down is or whatever. I am 100% against that. We are pro-humans on this podcast, and I know I was a little hard on you guys, but it makes it part of the game, and it's fun, and it gives us podcasters something to talk about.
It's true.
And yeah, so just wanted to throw that out there. We are pro-humans on the Banana Breakdown podcast.
True, we are. But going on, basically, the Party Animals had the game of their lives. They were up 4-1, and then we get into the 7th and 8th innings, and back-to-back innings, the Bananas walk it off, bring it back to 4-3, and it was like down to the wire. There were like 3 minutes left in the 8th inning before it ended, going into the 9th inning, which was really good to see because now we get to see a really cool 9th inning, and we'll talk about it. There was a lot of really cool stuff here.
Yeah, so the top of the ninth. You want to go there now? Top of the
Let's
ninth.
do it.
Top of the ninth, the Party Animals score.
Yep.
2 ball 4 sprints, get a run scored. Tanner Thomas stole second, and then the other ball 4 sprint scored him. So
Such a smart move.
Super smart to get into scoring position to steal in that situation. But then we go to the bottom of the ninth with the Party Animals up 5-3 in a great position to win the game and take a series lead. But what happened?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about the little bit of a controversy there. We won't go into it too much, but basically, Bill Leroy, the count got mixed up. There was some discrepancy of the announcers thought maybe the count was different than it actually was, so maybe Bill had thought that as well, but essentially he thought it was a ball 4 sprint. It wasn't, ended up counting as an out. So we basically get to the point where there's 2 outs, and the Party Animals are up 2, and then a couple things happened that brought the Bananas back into the game. So going back really quick, there was a 4th foul ball in the 5th inning that we missed. And basically what happened with that one is they called it not a catch. And then they show the replay, and it looked like it was a catch. And they kept going back and forth, and then basically the umpire had just missed it. And it was very clear evidence that it was a catch. So that broke the record for the most foul catches in a game.
Yeah, so up to 4 foul ball catches. So the fans were ready, and it was exciting. But again, I think we're gonna see that shattered in a football stadium.
Totally.
All right, back to bottom of the ninth. So a couple things happen here. 2 outs, and the Bananas foul. Who was hitting here?
I believe it was Ryan Cox.
Ryan Cox is up. He fouls to the stands, and it is caught. But looks like it was deflected first. So it looked like it was going to be the end of the game.
Yeah.
5th foul out, going to end it. Really fitting way to end because there's, broke the record. But no, it looks like it was deflected. And so the official rule is that it was just a foul ball.
So I think we need to call the firefighters because I think you've got a hot take coming up right here.
Yes, here's my hot take. I know true Banana Ball fans. I'm a true Banana Ball fan too, but diehard Banana Ball fans may disagree with me here. I'm probably in the minority. I don't think that fan-caught foul balls should count as an out in the 9th inning.
That's a hot take right there.
Yeah. What do you think? I think you disagree with me.
I do. And one of the main reasons I disagree is seeing the footage from one of the other games. There was a fan caught a foul ball in the 9th inning with 2 outs, and the players brought the fan on the field and they celebrated with him, and that fan won the game for the Savannah Bananas. Just like this fan would have won the game for the Party Animals and can have a huge, cool celebration. I understand that probably would be easier for the game to try to see who actually wins.
No offense to that guy, but I did not watch the game for him. Sure, he's a great person. And maybe, hopefully, if it's you watching, you still want to subscribe. But I came to watch some Banana Ball players make some big plays in the 9th inning, not some fan.
It's true. So you are talking about a hypothetical hot take here because it didn't actually happen.
Yeah, it didn't actually happen. But I'm just saying that this is my unpopular opinion. And maybe, we're only in episode 4 and I'm already going to get canceled. We're probably going to have, Brandon's going to have a new co-host next week. Going to get fired. That's just what I think. And this is coming from a Party Animals fan that would have won us the game. But I'm watching the game and I couldn't help but think, that would have been a disappointing ending. Because
a little bit.
Maybe it's just because I am coming off the high of a Drew Gillespie strikeout to win the game and how exciting that was. It just feels like it would be a little anticlimactic to have a fan catch the final out.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Okay? That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think the firefighters put that one out, so let's move on.
Okay.
But basically, so it got to the end of the game, and there was a couple mistakes on the Party Animals side. We don't have to dwell on that a lot, but it was one of those things where it was the Party Animals lost the game more than the Bananas won it in the 9th inning. But for the credit of the Party Animals, it was all while attempting trick plays. So kudos to the guys for trying to win by doing a cool trick play. Like, that's what makes this game so exciting. But definitely those misses were what caused the game to go the way it did.
Yeah, it hurts to see, but that's why we love the sport. A routine thing, it's not so routine because guys are trying to do, and it's in their DNA. Even in the most crucial moments of a game, they're still trying to do something. It can be frustrating if you're rooting for a team to win, but you also you gotta just say good effort.
Yeah.
Really, it's brave to do something like that.
Yeah.
So you can't blame them.
And going back to what happened earlier, Brett Helton really didn't rattle KJ Jackson that much because KJ Jackson hit the walk-off. Yeah. So he actually had a pretty good game after that. So I don't know what happened there with that interaction, but it actually spurred KJ Jackson to have a really fantastic game.
The adrenaline of watching Brett Helton charge at him. It's like it was just coursing through his veins, and he was able to win the game. No, I still want Brett to try it again, but yeah, a good game by KJ to get the walk off there. Coach Rack was able to come and score. So yeah, sadly, my beloved Party Animals. Like I said before, this is a game I want to forget. You had it, guys. You had it. You had close. The game won. 2 outs. Up 5-3. Kudos to the Bananas, but what a heartbreaker.
Yeah, and really quick shout out to Robert Anthony Cruz. He actually batted twice in the 9th inning. So he hit against Drew Gillespie, and then they used the golden batter to bring him up again. And he has been 6 for 8 in the 9th inning this season. You can't get much more consistent than that.
Yeah, it's great. He's clutch, as they say, and yeah, really, really good. And the golden batter rule has really shown, so far this season, the golden batter rule has given us some awesome moments.
Agreed.
I can't remember the exact stat, but they're around batting 500 with the golden batters.
That's
right
crazy.
Now. And batting 500 in baseball is insane. That's
insanely good. Yeah.
So the coaches know what they're doing when they send the guys up in those situations, and those guys are born to make plays.
Yeah. And then looking at next week, so you know what's coming on the next podcast, the Savannah Bananas and Party Animals are going back to Grayson Stadium. A 3-game series, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and that will be at Grayson Stadium, the 2 teams that we've seen this whole time. So there's an opportunity for it to actually be tied up after this series, depending on how things go.
Yeah, my guess for the series, these teams are so evenly matched. I want to say that the Party Animals sweep. You know what? I'm just going to say it. The Party Animals are going to sweep.
Well, I'm going to say that the Bananas are going to sweep. So you'll see on the next podcast who's closer with our prediction of the future.
Yeah, Party Animals are going to sweep 3-0. Book it.
I mean, we can change it right now, but I don't think it's accurate, so I can't in good conscience change it now.
Yeah. Oh well.
But thank you so much for watching or listening wherever you are. We really appreciate it, and we're excited to bring these weekly breakdowns of the games to you and see where things go from there. Yeah,
it's been so much fun. This sport is awesome. We love how it's fans first, and we want to be fans first too. So you know where to find us on YouTube. We're on X and Instagram as well. Reach out to us, ask us any questions, and we'll be excited to address it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Go Bananas.
Go Party Animals.